Yes.
Yes, Mama. Just talk to the doctor.
What do you mean you're still home?
A couple of broken ribs.
You can't find a babysitter. I flew across the fucking country. Oh my god.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
No, I haven't even had a chance to eat the food yet.
I picked up some tacos.
No, I don't want leftover pizza. Oh my god.
Plant-based.
Wait, how leftover?
No, not as good as yours.
God, that's disgusting. No.
I'll call you when I know more,
Will
Mom.
you just get here so we can do this?
I love you too.
Just call me when you... Okay. Well, ain't this a bitch? Nothing like getting a call from your mostly estranged brother at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, just as I'm about to watch the season finale of RuPaul's Drag Race, that your dad, who you fucking hate, or, well, who I fucking hate, I don't know how you feel about it, right? Fuck that guy. Anyway, he calls you and he's just like, oh, guess who's in a coma? Dad. And this time, it's serious. This time. Like, there have been other times where that man has been in a coma, or like something like a coma, like a diet coma, or like a diet coma light. I don't know.
You know the funny thing is about having your first kid? There's only two things that are 100% true about it. One, when you become a new parent, you incognito judge the shit out of everybody. And then they try to convince you that you would do a better job. And then two, as soon as you take your baby home, because everybody's like, oh, it's so precious and such a beautiful family. Immediately, when you get home, you freak the fuck out.
Okay, so before you start judging me, the gross wieners, yeah, Joe Gross Wiener here, like I ever stood a chance with a kid. They are the masters of thinking death is like right around the corner. Oh, grandma's sick? Probably cancer. Mom's got a headache? Well, probably cancer. Dad's been coughing a lot? Probably cancer. And the thing that pisses me off even more is they pass that shit down to me. See this little bump on my cheek? Probably cancer. Or, you know, a normal human, a zit.
Because here's the deal. Wife goes into labor. You go to the hospital. The doctor says, okay, let's have a baby. And you're like, sounds great. And then a little ball of meat comes out and they wrap it like a burrito. And then they say, all right, now get the fuck out of here. And literally, the next day, you're on your own. You, your wife, and a little burrito. And guess what? That little burrito ain't taking care of itself.
So as it turns out, motherfucker, the dude did indeed have cancer. Liver, or lung, I don't know. Smoked like a chimney and drank like a, well, alcoholic, so it might as well be both. Anyway, this is all happening, and then I have to decide if, you know, now that he's been in the hospital like multiple times, I have to decide if like I want to call their bluff or, you know, like look like an asshole, which, you know, is ironic because, you know, clearly he's the asshole in this scenario and I'm in therapy. Yay!
Good news? Well, the good news is you figure it out. I mean, you have no choice at this point because that little burrito, it eats and poops a lot. And like a little burrito, it grows into a healthy burrito. The bad news is you're exhausted all the fucking time. Like, you want to die exhausted. But if you're lucky, by the grace of God, you manage to sometime get through it. You might kill the little burrito, but you'll come close.
So cut to the chase.
Anyway,
Today,
he could have died.
the asshole dies. Do you know
You know,
I never wanted to be
I
a
always
father.
wanted to be a father. My father was amazing. Every morning he would use his world's greatest damn mug. Not because I gave it to him, but because, well, yeah, because I gave it to him. And that meant something to him. Every Friday we would go to Blockbuster and get movies. We forgot to rewind them. He gave me my first pair of drumsticks because I wanted to play the drums like him. He made me feel comfortable and safe to take risks because I knew no matter what, I had a net that was unbreakable. He cried when I married my wife. bawled like a baby when I told him I was having my first child. Not because he wanted to be a grandfather or anything, but he couldn't wait for me to dad. It's not enough of me worrying about my son. I can't stop thinking about how disappointed my dad would be at me right now.
I'm not gonna sit here and talk about my father, or how much of a dad he wasn't, or how many dinners and holidays and birthdays he ruined, how much I hated him, or probably how much I learned to hate myself from him. You know that whole "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger" expression? Yeah, well, I'm strong as fuck. Fuck. I spent my entire childhood laser focused on two things. One, waiting for him to die. And two, never, ever becoming a father myself, because if there was even the slightest chance that his malevolence was passed down to me, risk, reward, risk, risk. And the funny thing about sitting here, waiting for him to die, or more specifically, for me to end him. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, my siblings asked me to pull the plug. Figured since you don't like him very much, it won't bother you. And because I am me, I said yes. You're welcome, therapists.
Get married, have kids, make money.
Try to keep yourself
money.
safe. Get away from the bad people.
Work.
Run far.
Work me.
Push it all down. You know, tell yourself you're strong as fuck. And it turns out that I am not strong. It turns out that I need help. It turns out that I need help.
Soccer practice. I missed the soccer practice. Which means I missed picking him up. So he decides to walk home. As he was crossing the intersection, this guy, this fucking drunk guy, who had no reason being on the road, I built my whole life with my wife and my son, who I love more than life itself. And I didn't have time. I didn't have time. And I can't make time. I'm overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. He could have died.
You know, it's ironic. I spent as many years in therapy talking about my father as I did as a child living in that house wishing he was dead. And many more years just working through all my shit. I couldn't wait to get out into the world, you know, and go out and be my own man, and go out and prove myself, and to everybody else that I didn't need that guy, and go out, and I thought that at some point in time, that when I worked through all this shit, that like all my burdens would suddenly go proof, and that I would be okay, and that I could be my own man, and that I could prove to everybody that I never really needed in the first place. And yet, even as I sit here waiting to pull the plug out of the mat, all I keep thinking about is how I wish I had a fucking dad right now to give me advice, to help me through this, to tell me it's going to be okay, to tell me that I'm going to be okay. No, not really.
Me either.
So, what happened?